Are you suffering from wince face due to an injury? Or maybe from back, muscle, or joint pain? Even if you're unsure what that pain is, the specialists at the Iowa Clinic Bone and Joint Center can help you feel better from head to toe. It's coordinated. It's easy. It's all under one roof. Because no one should have to live in pain or with wince face. Call or visit iowaclinic.com today.
Happy Saturday morning to you all, and welcome to our game day preview show. Iowa State getting ready to tip off in Waco in about 20 minutes from now. Saw our sponsor there, the Iowa Clinic and the Iowa Clinic Men's Center. It's vasectomy season. Anybody feel like a vasectomy today? God, I'd give anything to have a vasectomy and just sit around, watch games.
Everybody better be ready to see Chris Williams with a bag of peas on his nuts over and over again for the next 3 weeks.
This is the time of year that I shine, Jared. This is when Daddy comes out to play. I also want to thank our friends from the Iowa Event Center. Great partners of what we do here at Cyclone Fanatic. And they've got a massive slate coming up. I actually know right now, shout out to my buddy Klein, he's at the Deer Expo. Y'all ever been to a Deer Expo?
I can't say I have.
Iowa Deer Classic. Where you walk around. I bet there's people watching right now who are going to the Deer Expo today. It's a huge deal down there at Iowa Event Center. Massive deal. Get on out to the Deer Expo. Tell my guy Klein. Hello, Trophy Bucks of Iowa, good Page County company. Give a lot of money to charity. Clones, Baylor, weird game today. I had a friend, a degenerate friend, text me this morning and say, well, it's a lock of the year to bet on Baylor today. And I said, like, I don't know. I'm not going to give you gambling advice, you freaking degenerate. But, like, there is a little bit of a feel. It's like, clearly to make the Caleb Grill move the way that they did, it had gotten bad. We've seen teams bounce back when you kind of make a team-first move like Otzelberger apparently did, from what we know. So, I don't know. I don't think Iowa State will win today.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're spirited, though. And you saw a little bit in the second half of that West Virginia game where they're playing downhill a little bit more. They did beat this Baylor team earlier in the year. So, I don't know. Like, I'm anxious to tune in today. I don't think that this is necessarily going to be a bloodbath. What about you?
I don't know if I would. I definitely don't know if I would bet the line on this game, especially I think it's at 7. I did bet the first half line, though. I felt like Baylor, especially, you think about they're playing really good ball right now. And if it can take Iowa State some time to maybe sort into what they're doing, like if anybody wasn't a bit on this game,
they
that's
might
what I
be
would
my
say.
pick to win the national title without seeing a bracket.
Yeah, they are playing really good ball right now. And we know that college basketball at the end of the day, especially in the tournament, like it's a guards tournament, And when you've got 3 guards like what Baylor has with Adam Flagler, LJ Cryer, and Keontae George, all 3 guys who shoot, right around 40% from the 3-point line, they can, get into the middle of the paint and make things happen. And that's going to be the big thing for Iowa State today is how do you keep those 3 guys out of the paint? How do you keep them from collapsing the defense and creating open shots for other people?
Yeah, and I don't have a great answer for that. And I completely agree with you on Baylor again. I think that of all the Big 12 teams, and it's a bloated league, obviously, I feel like they would be the best pick to win the national championship. Again, that's without seeing a bracket.
Their veteranness, probably.
Yeah, and their guards and just, Drew's top 5 guy. Like Texas, it's like I don't believe that they have good guards, but I don't believe that Texas coach can get them through an NCAA tournament. Obviously Kansas is going to be there too. Let's talk about that game real quick, and we'll get back to Iowa State Baylor. But Texas, Kansas, that is a 3:00 tip on ESPN. I kind of like Texas in this game, in this spot. That's turned into a really nice home court advantage over the last year or so. And I don't know, this feels like This feels like Texas gets it done to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I think that this feels like a good spot for Texas. Obviously, it's been an emotional year for them for a lot of different reasons. And, you get that one last home game, it'll be a juiced up atmosphere. They did miss out on getting the opportunity to split, a Big 12 title. But, I think that's a team that, especially when they're playing on their home floor, they play with a swagger, and I think even when you get a team like Kansas into there, and if Kansas is able to win this game, it just would be further evidence of the fact that that's a team that is very capable of repeating as national champions. And I just think,
which is shocking.
As their
From
front
like a
court
month
has
ago.
continued to come along, like they've got the guards again, like it's a guard thing, but they have to be good enough, especially on the glass and things like that. So I don't know. I think that Texas probably wins this game today, but it would be a significant statement, I think, from Kansas if they would be able to go into Austin and get a win.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Think back to when Kansas was in Ames, that team is where it is now. They were a shell of what they are now. Maybe it just took Iowa State to just beat the snot out of them to bring it all out. Halfway kidding there. So the scenario, you're better at this than me. I think I have it down. If Iowa State wins today, they are the 6th seed next week in Kansas City. Or you look for Texas Tech to beat Oklahoma State. They are like a 6-point favorite in that game. Either of those scenarios, Iowa State is a 6th seed. If Oklahoma State, we're going to assume Iowa State loses to Baylor. If Oklahoma State were to upset Texas Tech on the road, Iowa State would be the 7th seed playing Oklahoma on Wednesday in Kansas City. Do I have that right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. We're wanting to see Iowa State on Thursday, right? Or
I think
is this a
anytime
deal
you
where
can
it's like,
avoid
no, I'd
Wednesday.
rather get a game against Oklahoma, maybe have a chance to win a game going into the tournament?
Who would be if they're the 6, who would be the 3? Would it be Baylor?
I believe it would be Baylor.
I mean, you want to avoid Wednesday, I feel, at all costs
I think
if you
so.
can. Yeah.
And you're avoiding a potential loss to a not very good team. Like,
you can do nothing but help yourself if you play Baylor, but you could theoretically hurt yourself if you play Oklahoma.
Correct. And I don't know if I trust this team running around the kitchen with a knife right now.
No.
I would trust my 8-year-old. I don't trust a 3-year-old with a knife.
Right. Yeah, no, I
This
think
is
that
a 3-year-old.
if you get Baylor, like, I don't know. You just would prefer to not have to play them back to back like that. That's the only thing that stinks. It just is. I don't know. I feel like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, but
like
if you're Baylor,
I'm ready to watch them play teams that aren't in the Big 12 anymore.
If you're Baylor, do you really want Robert Jones 2 games in a row though? Look at it that way.
Well, absolutely not. No. Great second half from Robert last year in Waco. Not a good first half. Great second half though.
I don't even remember that game, and here's why. We had that like tornado thing rip through town the first half. We didn't have power for the first half of the Baylor game last year, and I took my kids on a Polk County ghost tour. And we listened to Walters and Heft on the call. I did not see most of that game last year.
What were they down at halftime? Like 20-something and came back and almost won?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Remember the year that they started the game out like 17-0? The 2 years ago. They were up like 18-0 and then
horrible
lost.
Team, yeah.
Yeah.
And everybody's just live betting Baylor the whole time.
Yeah, Iowa State's like up by 18 points and Baylor's still like a 6-point favorite.
Josh says it's possible Texas would be the 3 seed.
Okay. So that's got to be if Texas loses and Baylor wins.
Yeah. God, I just don't know if I want to do the Tyrese Hunter thing again. I feel like that's played out.
I feel like we're over it now, though. Like that second time, I didn't feel like that was as big a deal. I think if you play Texas and Kansas City, though, you maybe have a pretty good chance to win that game.
I think you have a much better chance than you do against Baylor.
Yeah. I think
No
Texas
doubt.
just has the ability to be weirdos sometimes still that Baylor maybe doesn't with their veteran elements. Bill Self is the
John,
best coach in the Big 12.
Yeah, John's asking us who's the best coach in the Big 12. I mean, it's Bill Self, but I think Scott Drew is a strong 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
They the last 2 national championship coaches.
Who's number 3? That's the better conversation, I think, because those 2 are clear.
Well, I mean, like right now or career, because Huggins would be up there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't take him right now.
Jerome Tang, he'd be up there.
He'd be up there. I mean, he's right there with TJ, though. I wouldn't put him much higher than Otzelberger.
I'd put both of them above Porter. I'd probably put them both above Mike Boynton. I'd probably put them both above Mark Adams right now, and I bet Mark Adams makes twice as much money as both of them do. And I think I'd probably put, Rodney Terry. I don't know how
I would take Otzelberger over Tang just in this specific spot because of the recruiting aspect. Not that Tang won't recruit well, but like when you're in Ames, but clearly Tang's done an amazing job. Like,
and his best player is a guy that he got because a lot of schools didn't want to take him, or weren't willing to clear him. Yeah.
That is a good question, though. Maybe because is Mosher gonna make it?
I mean, I don't know. I don't have much confidence that he is going to, but it feels like he needs to get some different kinds of players. I don't know what it is about the way that they play, but it just doesn't feel like he's got the guys to keep up with.
It reminds me so much of McDermott when he was in the Big 12. Just the exact same thing. We forgot about Jamie Dixon. He would be.
Oh yeah, he'd be up there. He's top 5 for sure.
Yeah. I think you'd have to rate him above Otzelberger and Tang.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. And his teams are always really good too. Gary Parrish thinks
they had so many.
Can we get reaction to this from you?
I don't think TJ will go to Texas. Wouldn't that be something?
That's all the reaction. I don't think he's going to Texas. I don't think he's going to Texas either. After he literally said there's no program or position that I hold in a higher honor than this one earlier this week, for him to turn around and turn heel and go to Texas.
And join up with Tyrese Hunter.
Yeah,
and
Tyrese Hunter recruited him to Austin.
Sweet thing at the press conference. It's like that's like a total pro wrestling move.
They'd come to Hilton Coliseum for Texas's last trip to Ames and be doing the chop.
The suck it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna be in Ames calling the women's game today, the final game of the Ashley Jones era in Hilton Coliseum. And then my plan is to do like a big podcast after, because I'm not going to have time to do a post-game pod between the men's and the women's games. So look out for that. Jared will be doing all the men's game stuff. Connor will be up in Ames covering the women. Jacqueline is in Tulsa covering Big 12 wrestling. It's going to be a pretty boring day today, I think, with not boring, that's not the right word, but they all got buys in the first round. Do you follow? Do you even know like how that works, Jared?
I do,
it's
because
the most
read
bullshit thing ever. Like I can't even understand how that sport can get away with doing this the way it does.
Anyone who doesn't understand can go read Jacqueline's 5 thoughts before the Big 12 championships from the site
Iowa
earlier
State
this week.
basically goes into this this tournament like an automatic 15 points behind, and there's nothing they can do about it. Doesn't matter, because they don't have these like shitty first round matches where you can run up points. It's so stupid. Anyways, there you go. There's my Big 12 wrestling soapbox.
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have any takes for you.
Well, they don't like it. It's crazy. Like, and Missouri's better than them. We saw this, but like, it's not like in basketball. It's like, well, if you have a game where you hit 15 threes, you can beat anybody. It's like, no, they're automatically down like 15 to 20 points. No, they can't do anything about it. It's crazy.
Is there a prop to bet Iowa State to win the Big 12 wrestling? Is that a thing?
I looked on Circa today and I couldn't find any wrestling odds, and that would be about the only place you could find them. So
yeah,
In fact, I was actually looking to bet Missouri because I was thinking most casual like observers wouldn't understand the thing. And I figured maybe it would be like even when it absolutely shouldn't be. But
Right.
so that'll
Right.
be going on all weekend as well. And then we have the NFL Combine. It is like an overload today with stuff going on. So what do we have left in the Combine? Is it
X
that's
is
kind of
today.
Connor's deal. I haven't been following it much, but I
No,
know
yeah,
Will
X
McDonald.
is today. Yeah.
X is today. Okay. I know Will McDonald, and I know it's since been published, but I had heard on like Thursday that he was super sick, like couldn't get out of bed, and now it's kind of been reported on. But did he not run his 40? I heard he wasn't.
He did not
going
run the 40, but he did the vertical. He did, got measured. He did broad jump. Last I knew, he had the lead and he had the highest broad jump, I think. Had a 36-inch vertical. We knew that number was going to be crazy when we saw him jump over the car. Did you see that video?
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
Icon.
guy's something else, man. I saw the people wondering if he was used in the wrong positions at Iowa State, if he was miscast as a college player. I think that anybody who wonders if Will McDonald was miscast should just turn the film on.
Yeah,
Stop overthinking it. Turn the film on.
All right. Well, have a great day, everybody. Hopefully, a couple wins. That'd be great. He's Jared Stansbury. My name is Chris Williams. Thanks to our sponsors, the Iowa Clinic, and our friends at the Iowa Event Center. Go check out that Deer Expo today. Jared's got a Carhartt hat on. It looks like you'd fit right in.
I do. Yeah. Look like I belong out doing the chores.
Not choring on a Saturday morning. You'd have to get up a hell of a lot earlier than this.
Yeah, no kidding.
Those cows don't take care of themselves. All right. Have a great day, everyone.